Hi everybody, and welcome to part 2 already of drawing landscapes for beginners. And this is my scrapbook, of course, with all the landscapes that I want to draw this coming year. And this is well, I paste in all kinds of landscapes, and last week we started with the road drawing. And what we did then is use charcoal and start well, getting somewhere on the road, of course. And this is a one-point perspective, very nice. This is a poppy field, I want to do that too, but for today I want to do the lighthouse. Now it's a very quite easy setup. You can see the horizon and the line of the lighthouse reflecting in the paddle. And I did some pre-studies already. Here you can see a fine liner drawing with combined with a simple graphite. Very nice indeed. Also for the clouds, I'm very happy with them. And this one was done purely in the fine liner Staedtler, also 0.05, and a little bit of watercolor pigments and the brush, and then this came out. So very happy I am with these tryouts, but what I want to do first before we start drawing with the charcoal, which is the best way to start, of course, to get acquainted with the reference picture. I want to show you how to use Pixabay, but also I want to share my tip on how you can walk around on Peggys Cove by using Google Maps. So let's check this out first. Now here of course we are on Pixabay, and this is where I got my reference picture from. And Pixabay is free, license free for especially us artists, very ideal to see and get pictures with high resolution. But what is even more interesting, and I wanted to share this with you very much, and that is to go to Google Maps, and then you simply type in Peggys Cove, you drop down and you take a stroll over this little piece of island, and then take a look at that great lighthouse and get an idea of the surroundings. Now this can help your imagination and your inspiration a lot. Now here we see a young lady with her boyfriend or husband, and they are taking a funny picture indeed of holding the lighthouse. But of course that's not my main interest. My main interest is to take a stroll over that island and get an idea of the vegetation, of the sea and the weather. And that is so great. You can even take a closer look at the lighthouse itself, and you can get up as close as you want. You could walk up the stairs here and just take a stroll and get the idea of how this island is built up. And this can help you to make an even better drawing. In this year 2019, I will take you along around the world as we continue our landscape drawings. Okay, so let's start drawing. But before we do, I would like to have you take a close attention to what the composition is. Of course, on my Patreon page you can download these prints to help you get your setup right. And actually the horizon is just and exactly in the middle of the height of my drawing, which is 15 centimeters. Then of course we have the line of reflection of the lighthouse in the petal, and that one is 6 centimeters from the left side. The whole drawing is a 23 centimeters broad, and you can see that the rock formation on which the lighthouse is on is just above the horizon, and the line between the sea and the sky is your actual horizon. There are lines in the skies too that are important to give your drawing a great 3D feel, and some tiny dots, and those are the people that are on that island, and that gives your drawing a feel of greatness, of how big everything is. So it's 15 by 23 centimeters. Then we have that vertical line, which is 6 centimeters out of the left side, and that line is needed for the reflection in the petal. And what I will be using is a white pastel for an underlayment, and then of course my favorite, the Kohinoor Hardwood pencil eraser, and furthermore a charcoal pencil and a blender stick. Now this is something that I'm trying out. It's not standard for me to do this. I'm putting in a little layer of white pigment, and in that way I get a dry surface, and I want to see if this actually affects my drawing. I have no idea. We will see as we draw along. And what I do first is making sure that there's some kind of a tip on my charcoal pencil. It could have been better, but it's just a rough sketch. And first I draw in the mid area rock formation, and of course the front area. And what I need, and this is very, very important for this drawing to me as I saw it on Pixabay, is that petal and the reflection of the tower Peggy in that petal. Now here you can see the window opening and the top of the roof, and actually the drawing, because because this is nearby, the petal is nearby, the actual lighthouse is a little bit bigger in front than it is way in the back. So way in the back I will draw in the lighthouse, just just a few lines. I put in the darkness of the roof, and I put in the 3 window openings, and that is actually sufficient enough to get the idea of a lighthouse going on. Here are some boulders that are just behind that front rock area. And what I search for, of course, are some little detail like the stairs that are in front of the lighthouse. And I saw that when I was walking on Google Maps over this island. And it's just very, very tiny, but some kind of little details just now and then give the drawing that touch of softness. Furthermore, I'm searching just for lights and darks, so gray values, shadows, movement, the movement of how the rocks, the line between water and rocks are working together. So that's very important too. And there is a wave. So here I'm drawing in the mid area of water. That's seawater coming in here. And you can see the actual edge between rock and water. Also here's a big wave. And this is the horizon, so that's the sea versus sky. And here in front I'm drawing a little bit of waves. These are the rocks that are in front. And then here is the big rock with the paddle on top. I draw in a few lines over them to get the feel of mass, if you like. And then this is my paddle. And the paddle actually is quite dark, except for the part of the lighthouse. And that stands out quite white against the blackness of the water of the paddle. Now in the mid area there's an edge of, I guess, algae, but it's a darker edge alongside the rocks, between the rock and the water. So I wanted to draw that in too, of course. And then for the sky part, I'm not using my charcoal pencil, but I am using a small piece of natural charcoal. The difference between a charcoal pencil and a natural charcoal is that the pencil is compressed a little bit so they can build a pencil out of it, while the natural charcoal are literally little twigs that are carbonized, and it's softer and it is lighter. As you can see, the pigments of the natural charcoal are much more bluish than the charcoal pencil pigments. They are somewhat more blackish. And here I'm using the blender stick, and a blender stick also is a very nice tool to use. You can see it. I use it to rub in the pigments into the paper. And because I have an underlayment of white pastel, I think it's blending quite well together. It gives a soft feel to the water, and especially to the paddle, because the paddle is my main interest in this drawing. Then there is, of course, the pencil eraser. Now this is a nice tool too, to bring back the light. If you got a little messy, or you want to draw out the clouds that are behind the lighthouse in this case, you can rely on your pencil eraser. And here I'm using the blender stick as a thick pencil actually. So that's nice too. You can use it for rubbing in pigments, but you can also draw out vague contours with them. And here are my people. 3 people walking on the rock formation, and it gives my drawing a feel of space, I think. Then I want to draw in a little bit of structure on the rock formations themselves, to get a little bit more liveliness into my drawing. And here, this mid area can use a little bit more darker values. So there's a bit of reflection of the rock going on into the water of the sea. Here are my splashy waves, of course. I want to draw those in. And those are also around those rocks. And I also use my pencil eraser for a little bit of reflection up on top of the paddle. And this is just so nice to do. It is so nice to draw like this and use the charcoal, the different kinds of charcoal. Also, I would like to suggest to you to make as many studies as you can with different drawing material. Find out for yourself what material you love the most. And on Patreon, of course, I'm drawing and talking at the same time. This is a voiceover, but on my Patreon page, I record everything in real time. Should you like to see that, then please pay a visit there, and maybe you would join me. But here it is, my drawing, and I love charcoal because you can stir it around a lot. You can erase it out if you want, and it's such a nice medium. You can draw like a painter, actually. So please give it a try. Also, don't forget to take a walk about on Google Maps and see what that brings you, and if that gives you extra inspiration. So I hope you will give this video a big thumbs up. Maybe you would like to support me on my Patreon page. That would be great. And for now, I would say I will see you again next Friday.